Welcome to today's tutorial of ground operations. We're going to have a look at the correct technique to be used for taxiing the aircraft around the airport. To steer the aircraft, we're going to be using our rudder pedals located down by our feet. These can be divided into two halves. We have a top half on our left rudder pedal, and we have a top half on our right rudder pedal. These are our toe brakes, which are linked to the brake pads on the main wheels. We also have the bottom half on our left and a bottom half on our right. This half is linked to the rudder pedal on the back of the aircraft, and it's also linked to our nose wheel. So this is known as nose wheel steering. So if we're wanting to turn to the right, we're going to apply pressure on the right rudder pedal and the aircraft will turn to the right, which we'll see shortly. And if we want to turn to the left, we apply pressure to the left rudder pedal and this will turn the nose wheel to the left. So to get ourselves moving, we're going to release the handbrake and we're going to smoothly apply some power. So here we are at 1000 RPM, and we're just going to increase our RPM just enough to get the aircraft rolling. So our speed of the aeroplane at which we taxi at is going to be controlled by power, which is the use of our throttle. So as the aircraft starts to gain momentum on the ground, we're just going to reduce the power back to almost 1000 RPM, which will allow us to taxi at a safe speed. So we're turning to the right, so I'm pressing on the right rudder pedal and the aircraft will turn to the right. Up ahead we're going to start a turn to the left, following this yellow line, and by pressing on the left rudder pedal, our nose wheel's turning to the left, therefore the aircraft will turn to the left. What we want to try and avoid when we're taxiing is using power and brakes together. This only creates wear and tear on the main brake pads. So when we want to slow down, we want to try and anticipate when to do so. And the first thing that we're going to do is bring the power back to idle. And we'll just let the aircraft's inertia slow down by itself, and then we can use brakes if required. So we're following this yellow line, which is our taxiway centre line. And this will help guide us to where we want to go. In this case, we're going to go to a place called the holding point, which is just short of the runway. So I'm just using small amounts of power just to allow me to be at a safe taxi speed, which is no more than a fast walk. We're going to commence a right-hand turn shortly. So using the right rudder pedal, we're turning right. And we've got a little red sign, we've got a red sign up to our left saying that we're about to enter the runway environment. And on the ground, which you'll see shortly, we're going to have 4 lines, 2 solid and 2 dashed. This is our holding point line. If we're approaching the 2 solid yellow lines, that means we have to stop and we are required to get a clearance to enter or cross the runway. So we've got our 2 solid yellow lines, we've got our 2 dashed lines, therefore we must stop. If we were vacating the runway and we were approaching the 2 dashed lines, then we're clear to continue as we were and vacate the runway. So here is the technique that's used to taxi the aircraft on the ground.